Welcome to the Double R Show, the podcast that features everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, directed and produced by Paul Robertson and hosted by the voice of Lincoln City, Roger Robertson.
And thank you, Jana. Welcome to the Double R Show, the podcast that features you and things about us.
Right, yeah. It's all about North Lincoln County, and just happy to have all these new guests on each week. And so if people out there are listening and have some ideas, be sure to let us know, too.
And we have 3 brand new guests today. We're going to really weave something together.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, one we've had before. Krista's been on before.
Oh, she has.
Yeah, for some other stuff. But right now, yeah, we're going to be talking about Weaving Legacies, really, right? That they're doing there at the Cultural Center. We've got a gentleman coming on to talk about a book project that he's doing. And we've got a local photographer.
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that.
And with something extraordinary that he's doing.
Right, indeed.
That's all coming up right after this.
Home-style cooking in a hometown atmosphere. Hi, I'm Adina from Zeller's Restaurant in Rose Lodge in Lincoln City. Join us daily for good fun and great food. You can even kick up your heels at Zeller's.
Northwest Septic Service is your one-stop shop for all your septic needs.
Northwest Septic Service offers pumping, maintenance, repair, and inspections with one call, 541-994-6977.
Buying or selling a home? Northwest Septic Service can inspect your sewer line or an entire septic system.
Old or failing septic system? Northwest Septic Service can rejuvenate most drain fields, saving you thousands of dollars. 541-994-6977.
Serving Lincoln, Tillamook, and Yamhill counties, Northwest Septic Service. If you're looking for great early garden fresh produce, it's Kenny's IGA in the Bay Area of Lincoln City. 4 generations of Morgans caring for your every grocery need. All of your favorite beverages, a full deli, meat, produce, and of course, groceries. We're with Krista Eddy with the Lincoln City Cultural Center, and you have now, without a doubt, one of the finest displays of Turkish rugs this country has ever seen.
Wow, that's high praise, Roger. Thank you. We have an exhibit, and it is called Woven Legacies, and it is full of Turkish Persian rugs and textiles from that area and region. And this exhibit's going to be up through January 4th, and it is actually a fundraiser for the Cultural Center, but also for the family that this display came from.
Sener Otrugman is the one that is most responsible for buying these items and bringing them here. His wife, Julie Otrugman, is the one that is giving it all to the Cultural Center, correct?
Well, sort of. So the history of this exhibit is all of these rugs were in their little store, the Kelp Bed. And this is a family that's been in Lincoln City forever. And the Kelp Bed was open for decades. A beautiful little shop where they sold the rugs that they imported themselves from Turkey, mostly. And of course, Sener's passed. And Julie recently has developed memory issues. And the family needed to figure out what to do with the shop. And so the Cultural Center and the family are working together. And all of the items are here in the exhibit. And 50% goes to Julie's care, and the other 50% go to the Cultural Center. So it
is a marvelous display here in the Cultural Center that people need to come see and appreciate.
Definitely. Well, I mean, this is arts and culture together at its finest. They're beautiful. They're handmade. They're colorful. The rich colors and patterns are everywhere in this room. The different shapes are symbolic of different regions or maybe different tribes. They're all handmade. I've seen pictures of the looms, and they're these giant things that stand upright with strings coming down. And they're not made by weaving like we do here with our looms that we have. They're made by making tiny knots. And so there is a tiny knot made on each of those strings of the loom to make the patterns. And so we're talking hundreds of thousands or millions of knots in each rug. And all of the material is wool or silk and hand dyed with natural materials like walnut husks for brown and oak for black. I've actually learned a lot because I didn't know anything about rugs before, but I have grown to appreciate them greatly. They are beautiful works of art that go back thousands of years in their history. It's an ancient art form, and they're warm and cozy and utilitarian.
I feel a little strange with my feet on one of them.
Well, I mean, that's what they're for. Yes. We have over 160 rugs in this room, so I've stashed them in any way, shape, or form I can.
But you also have some other items other than just the rugs.
That's right. Okay, so the history goes back even further. Julie Otrugman's mom, Alice Merritt, had an antique shop that was in the building where the Kelp Bed was founded. And so all of her antiques kind of accumulated into the Kelp Bed merchandise and display. And so a lot of the antiques, some of them are from Turkey, but others are left over or collected by Julie's mom.
It is really an unusual way to help a family and also to help out the cultural center.
Yeah, I mean, this was Nikki Price, 100%. She dove in and helped, and they figured out how to do this, and then she just gave it to me and said, "Here, put this up and make it look good."
And that you have accomplished.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm very pleased with the way it's come out, and it is fun to come in and look through the rugs. I mean, we have piles of them. We have them hanging on the wall. You can take them out and put them on the ground and test them out. I have to say, Patrick and I got a small rug for our house, and never have we done this sort of investment. And there was one that the colors were really calling to me. And I looked at it on the wall for a very long time, months even, and then decided that I would take it home. And it pulled our entire little house together. All the furniture on this side and the art on this side and the pillows on this side, all those colors were in the pattern, and it just pulled everything together, and we all love it so much. Even the cats really love it too.
I really wish you would show some enthusiasm for this display of artistry at its finest.
It is. It's beautiful. Well, yeah, and we want to share this with people. So come in and see it.
No, it's at the Lincoln City Cultural Center, and again, it's going to be up how long?
It's going to be up until January 4th. So you've got 3 months to come in and see the exhibit.
And if you buy a piece, so much the better.
Yes, take one home. We're calling this the Woven Legacies because Julie and Sener really left a legacy in our community. They did so much. They lived here, they taught, and they left a mark. And so these rugs are part of their legacy.
All the way back to high school.
Right, the high school. Yeah, and also they were involved in the 4Cs, which was the beginning organization of the cultural center. Without that, we wouldn't have a cultural center. So they left a big mark on our community.
I just love the displays that you have. And there are, how many rugs did you say?
Over 160 in this room, and we still have a few in the closet that we haven't brought out yet.
Any other surprises forthcoming? Or now, if another family has a collection and would like to do something similar like to this, are you still open to that?
It's not our standard procedure, but we would be open to any ideas, of course. And one of the great things about this exhibit is traditionally this is a culture and an art form that we have not displayed and not represented. And so being from Turkey, from the Middle East, this is a whole different art and culture that hasn't been seen here, which I'm really proud of, to have this diversity and a different take on a different culture.
Zantello Law Group has moved. I'm Josh Zantello, and our law firm is now located across from the Lincoln City Community Center on Northeast 21st. Our law firm of knowledgeable professionals stand ready to assist you in life's matters.
Wouldn't it be great to have all your insurance needs handled by one agency? This is Charlotte Lado with Farmers Insurance and the Insurance Store. Visit our office next to the Wildflower Grill in Lincoln City. Let us be your one stop for your personal, commercial, health, and Medicare insurance needs.
We at La Roca are proud of our food, but don't take our word for it. Read the reviews. One person wrote, "The service was friendly and efficient." Another writes, La Roca has become one of our favorites because it's authentic Mexican food.
The man behind the camera is now becoming the man behind the microphone. With us is Bob Gibson. Bob, you're doing what?
Well, I'm just kind of climbing into a new part of the studio and a new service. I've done a lot of training, photography training and classes and that sort of thing. And now with folks going online and with that capability, it gives me a chance to work with people that aren't in the area. They can't come into the studio for photography lessons, and I can do it online and help them out wherever they are.
So how does somebody get Bob Gibson as their photographer instructor?
On my website, thephotographystudio.net, and it lists kind of the services, and then they get in touch with me. And pretty much they don't sign up online. They give me a call and arrange things.
And tell us about the program. Well, what kind of things are you teaching him to do?
Well, I can go all the way from beginners to advanced photographers. Talk about the technical side of the camera, how to use the camera when they get it. Let's say at Christmas time, they get a camera as a present, and they have no idea how to use it, what the buttons are for, and how the settings. And so we start from scratch. Or somebody that's experienced and they want some information about shooting events or doing portraiture, lighting, and that sort of thing. We can go over the full range.
Now, a lot of people are using their phones as their source of photography. Tell me, what should I look for if I'm looking for a new phone?
Well, it's the new phones for sure are wonderful cameras, and the digital photographs that we get with the phones now are fantastic, and the cameras are more sophisticated than the first digital cameras that I purchased back in the early 2000s and spent several $1,000s on. So it really is quite good, and it's changed my end of it because people are taking their own pictures. They're doing a lot of their own photography. And so it's changed the dynamics for sure. And so that's what the other thing that I can work with people on is how to get the best photographs out of their phone.
It is amazing to me that all of a sudden film is no longer something of use, is it?
Oh, absolutely. Most photography now is done digitally. I still have my film kit for sure, and the film cameras, and yeah, it's still there. And some people are traditionalists and they're still using film. The digital world, though, is so good now that to say that the film is higher quality or that you lose something with the digital, gosh, the digital photographs are really quite good.
Now, you just finished a lot of photography for the Cascade Music Festival, Sleds Bay Music Festival. Tell me about that.
Well, I started with the photography for the festival back in 2010 when it was still sound waves. And I started actually, honestly, I started because I heard that there was going to be a cellist playing at the festival that was going to be using a cello, an instrument that was made in 1728. And that's the reason that I was interested. I had not done concert photography, musician photography before that, but I was interested in photographing that cello. And so I signed on to be their photographer, and it was an absolute blast. Working with the musicians and having the access and being able to photograph the rehearsals, performances, and all it was wonderful. To get into the story a little bit, the musician arrived. He took out his cello, put it on a table, and I photographed it and all of that, thinking, wow, this is, 1728, this is remarkable. And then found out about 3 days later that the cello that he actually brought was made in 1997 down in California. And so anyway, I got a full portfolio of a really fairly new cello out of the deal. But the good news is that was the beginning, and I've photographed the festival every year since 2010 as it made the transition to the Sleds Bay Music Festival and then became really tightly woven into the fabric of the community, and it's something everybody looks forward to every year.
Does Bob Gibson have a particular favorite thing to photograph?
That changes. That really changes from time to time. 20 or 30 years ago, I would have said underwater photography was what I was really interested in. That kind of changed, and actually it changed when digital photography came around. And then my interest shifted over to people, and that's really my focus is portraiture and photographing people. And even more recently than that, the musicians and the performance photography has kind of taken is a real interest. I still do landscape photography, seascape photography, and that sort of thing. But I got to say that it's pretty exciting to be in a performance or a concert and be able to get the photographs of the musicians.
If somebody wants to set up an appointment with Bob Gibson and get some photography done because they're going to have an engagement photo or whatever, they do what?
They can call here at the studio, 541-994-3405, or get on my website. It's thephotographystudio.net.
You enjoy it, don't you?
It's fantastic. It's it's of course a second career. Public administration was my first career. Public administration and human resources, and I started this in 2005, and it's been great.
October 4th, Chinook Winds Casino Resort invites you to join in on the fun as they welcome for one night only original member of the Beach Boys, Al Jardine and the Pet Sounds Band, featuring a special tribute to Brian Wilson.
And she'll have fun till the better takes the team away. Fun till the better takes the team round, get around, I get around, yeah.
Don't miss all the hits for one night with Al Jardine and the Pet Sounds Band, with a special tribute to Brian Wilson.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA.
Reserve seating starts at only $40. Call 888-MAIN-ACT, stop by the Chinook Winds box office, or go to etix.com. Al Jardine and the Pet Sounds Band, October 4th at Chinook Winds Casino Resort, where concerts are better at the beach.
Not just an aspiring author, but an author, a published author. With us right now is Mitch Gould. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Nice to be here.
You started out writing materials on computers, correct?
Yeah, technical writing for some big companies in Atlanta. NCR, you would have heard of them, AT&T,
sure,
and so on like that.
But since that time, you have really changed horses, if you will.
Yes, but the truth is, I was already, by that time, deeply interested in Victorian antebellum or Civil War history. And I just kept with that throughout the years. And my interest in Walt Whitman, started in 1990. And I've been researching him very...
What brought that about?
Well, it was kind of a spiritual opening, if you will. My partner in Atlanta died, and I went into kind of a mystical state that lasted for 2 years. And when I came out of it, I knew that I had this mission to crack a central mystery in Whitman's life that all the establishment had never been able to crack.
And what is that mystery?
Well, I was the one that gave it its name. I called it Walt Whitman's Quaker Paradox. And here is the paradox. On the one hand, the Quakers of the Civil War era were very much like the Amish are today. They had very strict prohibitions against music, dancing, theater, art on the walls, colorful clothing, and so on. I mean, just really, they had a reputation for extreme strictness. That's them on one hand. On the other hand, there's Walt Whitman. And he was the 19th century's, and even today maybe, greatest eloquent exponent for the fundamental right to make your own sexual choices. So the question is, that couldn't be cracked until I came along, was how was it possible that Whitman was so closely and deeply intermeshed with the Quakers? And I have a podcast of my own right now that explores my research into that.
The research done back east, obviously?
Continually since I left it, starting in Atlanta, into Forest Grove years, into Portland years, and now here in Lincoln City.
What has been your most profound discovery on Walt Whitman that you've unearthed, if you will?
Well, I think probably the basis of my trilogy now, my 3 books, my 3 novels.
Mm-hmm.
3 novels.
3 novels.
3 novels.
Oh, wow.
And the reason there's 3 is because I've developed this fundamental model of Walt Whitman as the product of the rise of the New York seaport during the Civil War era, or actually before. So I like to say that I can show you that Walt Whitman was the spokesbard for the sailors, lovers, and Quakers who made New York our greatest seaport.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fun too. It's a very exciting story.
Where do I find this?
Well, you can find me at my website right now, kelsonofthecreation.com. Visit me there. You can hear the podcast there about my research, some of it. And right now, I've just gotten the book back from a freelance editor I hired who is in Germany. He gave me some real, very, very, very positive endorsement of what I'm doing. And now it's time to make the revisions and find an agent. And then maybe next year, the book will be out, hopefully.
Will the book be in print? Are you going to be self-publishing, or what are you going to be doing?
Well, I hope to find an agent, because that's usually necessary to find a publisher. And then, a serious publisher will put it out in print. It would also become available electronically, because they do that. If I don't find an agent, if I don't find a publisher, then I'll do what Walt Whitman did. I'll publish the damn thing myself.
If you have to, you have to.
Exactly. Well, if it was good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
I would have to think so. Walt Whitman, I always think of just plain poetry. That's not the case.
Well, you're right. You're right, but you're very wrong.
Okay.
What you have on your side is that you're in agreement with all the establishment of Whitman scholars. So you're in good company.
I'll take it.
You're in good company. But really, I know from my research and all these years I've thought about it, Whitman was a freedom fighter first and only a poet second. Poetry was his medium, but his agenda was freedom.
Did he use poetry to enforce his
Yeah,
freedom?
to broadcast.
Okay.
Of course, his famous book, Leaves of Grass.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't anything in the history of all world literature like it. It is truly amazing.
And again, the trilogy is not published yet.
Not yet. No, it's undergoing revisions now. And then when that's done, it will go to an agent and then hopefully to a publisher. And if not, that's time for me to bite the bullet and do it.
Is that tough to accept somebody else making revisions in your life's work?
Well, no, actually, because I went to him knowing that, really every author needs an editor to help smooth over the rough edges in every book. So I was eager for that. And like I said, he was so respectful of my work, it didn't hurt.
If somebody wants to sit down and have a frank discussion with you about your works and about Walt Whitman, where do we reach you?
Well, you can find me through Facebook,
Okay.
Mitch Gould or Mitchell Santine Gould at Facebook. And frankly, I'm looking for beta readers, people who would like to read the novel right now before it goes out into the world. That's common practice. So I'd welcome people who want me to send them the book electronically.
So, again, for potential revisions?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, sure. If I get feedback from the readers, from the general readers, that's great stuff. Sure.
All right, Mitch Gould, thank you for being here. It's a
Thank you
most
so much.
interesting topic.
Thank you, Roger and Paul. I appreciate it.
You'll find a book for every occasion at Bob's Beach Books. Something to read as you relax by an open fire? We have it. Studying a particular topic? We have that too. Traveling to a far-off land? Discover it first by reading. Bob's Beach Books in the OceanLake area of Lincoln City? Come discover.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Well, I've enjoyed today's program, being able to talk with Bob Gibson and things that he's doing, Krista, what she's got at the Cultural Center now, and then books.
Yeah, Mitchell Gould, with the Walt Whitman story that he's working on. Yeah,
it's wonderful stuff. And again, next week we'll have an opportunity to talk to Dr. Miley Stolen. And I think we've got a couple of other special guests. Charlotte Latho will be on as well, correct?
Right, yeah, indeed.
That's all coming up next week on the Double R Show. Also like to remind everybody, if you are a veteran, there's a free homemade soup and sandwich luncheon for you twice a month, the second and fourth Wednesdays, noon to 2 at the Elks Lodge. So that's all done up for you. If you like music, especially big band music, we got a big band music and dance with the Lincoln Pops Orchestra the third Thursday of each month, 7 to 9:30 out at the Glen Eden Beach Community Club. And that's a great place to go, especially for the 4th of July when they have that pancake feast. I like that.
Yeah, don't miss that.
No, don't
put
miss
that
that
on your calendar tonight so you don't.
If you have been trying to battle your way up and down Highway 101, you know that the project work by ODOT is underway again, and that will be continuing for some time to come. So slow down, take it easy, spend a few extra minutes getting to and from, and don't get excited about it. You'll get there.
That's true.
Yes. Senior Fair, October 7th. We'll have an opportunity to talk about that next week as well. We got the Angel Ball coming up December the 6th, and that's just some of what's down the road. And you've got what from the Biosphere?
Yeah, the Cascade Head Biosphere Collaborative putting on another event here October 11th. Just last weekend, we had the Welcoming the Salmon Home, as you remember, and people got to get out on pontoon boats. Well, we're offering pontoon boat rides again on, Saturday, October 11th between 2 and 4 p.m.
Was that pretty successful?
It was, yeah. We had three and a half tours that we did. We did an extra one at the end there. And then we had printing that people did, and there were, some food and opportunities for games and lots of stuff, too, that people participated in.
So if you've got an activity, an event, something that you want us to talk about, we need to know about it.
Yeah. So just email us at roger@doublershow.com, and we'll look through and see if we can get you on the air.
Yeah, we would love to have one of your flyers, one of your posters, your information. You can email that to us as well, or you can just stick it in the mail.
Okay. Take the old route, too.
Take the old route. Yeah, we got snail mail and regular mail.
That's right.
Email. Okay. Anything else your side of the table?
We are clear from here.
So that will do to the doings on a Double R Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share so you, your family, and friends around the world, especially if you're in Germany, can listen to the Double R Show right here. With Paul, with Jana, I'm Double R. Have yourself a happy day.
You've been listening to The Double R Show. Join Roger and Paul Robertson as they explore everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, produced by Always Productions and hosted by Roger Robertson. Have a story? Email contact@alwaysproductions.com or call 458-201-3039. For The Double R Show, I'm Jana Grawn.